Hey, happy Saturday morning, everyone. Glenn Calloway from the basement. Hope everyone's going to have a great weekend. I am back with another video inspired by a channel that I just recently got into. The channel is called Close to the Edge. The host of the channel his name is Pat. Now, I don't know why I wasn't following this dude's channel before, but he left a comment on my video, the 2025 CD tag thing that's really taken off. I got like almost 2,000 views. A whole bunch of people in the vinyl community have responded and done their take on it, which I am thrilled about. Thank you. Pat did one, but he left a comment on my video, and then I went to his channel and watched a couple of videos and really dug his whole. I just like his personality. He's laid back, got gentleman from the UK, and I was especially loved his video he did with a friend of his named Kevin. They did the ranking of their top 10 live albums. Now, I'm a live album freak, so it was good for me. But I just loved the whole thing, just watching two really cool guys who were obviously good friends, just sharing this passion and talking about the albums that they rank highly. And it was a really, I loved it. I don't know, it just really resonated with me. And anyway, so I left a comment saying I was going to rank my favorite live albums. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, check out Pat, Close to the Edge. I'll leave a little comment about it in my description below. I don't know how to do links for some reason. I'm just a bit challenged. Anyway, so my live album ranking will have changed dramatically. The albums that would have been, like the album that would have been number one my whole life is the Almond Brothers Live at the Fillmore. And don't get me wrong, it's a freaking great album. But it's not even in my top 12 anymore. I'm going to do 12. And Get Your Yeah-Yeahs Out, Rolling Stones, not even in my top 12 anymore. Just brilliant, brilliant live albums. So my 12, you're probably not going to agree with these, but they're mine. And this is it. So I'm not much of a pop guy, top 40 guy. My listening is, deep cuts. I'm an album guy. I love long, extended tracks. I love jammy stuff. I love world music and jazz and bluegrass, and so far from being a top 40 guy. But I do have this one frickin' love of a band that had a ton of hits, probably the most successful duo in the history of music, and that's Hall & Oates. And this album, Live at the Troubadour, which I gotta get on vinyl one day, is just fantastic. I love this album. Daryl Hall's got the greatest frickin' voice, and they do a great job on these songs live. It's fantastic. Actually, a couple of them turn quite jammy. There's a song I Can't Go For That. It's like 8-9 minutes long. It's really just an exceptional live album. It sounds great. And yeah, that's my number 12. I love this frickin' album. Number 11, greatest live performer in the history of music, Bruce Springsteen. And I remember when the No Nukes movie came out, the concert movie, and seeing Bruce's performance on there was just electric. And in the last couple of years, they have finally released the whole Springsteen E Street Band show. Legendary 1979 No Nukes concert. Oh, incredible. This band was just on frickin' fire. Fantastic. If you haven't heard this band, I've seen Bruce and E Street Band probably 10 times. And I know that's not all the fanatics have seen them hundreds of times, but 10's good. And I've never been disappointed. The man puts on an incredible show. And this show was just electric. Fantastic. Number 11 on my list. Okay, number 10, the great Rory Gallagher. What a great guitar player. I was fortunate enough to see Rory play when he was in Taste, opening for Blind Faith and in Toronto, and that was in 1969. And then saw him again in a club in Toronto called the Colonial. Couple of years later, and yeah, but my favorite, Live in Europe is a great one, but my favorite is the Irish Tour, 1974. Blues rock at its best, and Rory was on fire on this show. That's a great frickin' album. That is my number 10. Okay, number 9. Another great artist who's just got such a great resume. Traffic, Blind Faith, his own solid solo career. The sessions he's played with Hendrix and Clapton and I don't know who else. Steve Winwood. He put out this album a few years ago called Greatest Hits Live. It is freaking incredible. One of the best sounding live albums I've ever heard. And he covers his whole career from Spencer. I forgot to mention Spencer Davis Group, the Traffic stuff, the Blind Faith stuff. It's just a freaking great album. 4 album set, and it can be had fairly cheaply. Great album. Steve Winwood. Number 8 on my list. I ranked this lower than I really wanted to, only because it's a newer album. And but this is my current favorite artist, and it is Billy Strings Live Volume 1. Oh my God, if you like jammy stuff, this is great. Don't get scared by the bluegrass connotation if you don't like banjos and stuff, because this guy can play a frickin' guitar. If you just want to sample a bit of this, I suggest that you go to YouTube and you look for a song called Turmoil and Tinfoil, and you fast forward the little video there to about the 15:30 mark and watch the rest of it. You want to see some guitar playing that'll just blow your frickin' mind. Check it out. Billy Strings, I'm obsessed with this man. My favorite artist right now for sure. Okay, next on the list, one of the great live albums of all time, one of the great bands of all time, Procol Harum live with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. This album is so good. I mean, Salty Dog and Wailing Stories, and the closes with that greatest prog song ever in Held 'Twas an I. Just a brilliant album. It sounds so good. Procol Harum. I got 6 more. 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 6, Frank Zappa. Now, Frank's got so many great live stuff out. If I was showing a box set, I probably would have picked the Roxy performances because they're great. So Zappa at the Roxy, I guess, could have been my pick. But I really gravitate to this CD all the time, and it's called Frank Zappa, Does Humor Belong in Music? They had a great band back then, man. This is awesome stuff. It's a real rocker. Starts off with the instrumental Zoot Allures from that album. Then Tinseltown Rebellion. And then Trouble Every Day. Great frickin' track. I'm Just a Penguin in Bondage, boy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hot plate heaven at the Green Motel. That album just is, that song is so catchy. What's New in Baltimore? I can't say the next one, but it ends in ball. WPLJ, the great opening track from Burnt Weenie Sandwich, the tribute to doo-wop music. Let's Move to Cleveland, and it closes with a killer version of Whippin' Post, the Almond Brothers great song. Fantastic live album, just rocks all the way through. Does Humor Belong in Music? Frank Zappa. So many Zappa albums to choose from, it's insane. Next, number 5 on my list, King Crimson. They have released so much live stuff. Now, I know kind of the original stuff, the USA album, but I got to go with what would have been, I guess you call the current lineup from 2013 to when they kind of stopped performing around 22, I guess. But they put out a ton of live stuff from those shows, and my favorite is Meltdown, live in Mexico. 3 CD set, and the performances are fantastic. I love Jacko Jackson's vocals on these things, and he's a great guitar player. I mean, Tony Levin, Mel Collins, Robert Fripp, triple drummers. Oh, I mean, just incredible stuff. And all of my favorite King Crimson songs are on this. Every one. So, great stuff. King Crimson, live in Mexico, Meltdown. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Number 4, Supertramp. You know, I always say if you could get one band to get back together and do a tour, I would grab Roger Davies and Roger Hodgson and clink their heads together and say, would you guys smarten up and do a show before you're all dead? Paris. This is such a great album. Every great Supertramp song is on here. The sound quality is exceptional. The performances are great. Oh man, I love this band. This was a great live album. Supertramp, Paris. I knocked my microphone off. Now, if I was any kind of professional video guy, I would edit that out, but not me. Okay. Number 3. I could have picked a Genesis live album because I really got into Genesis, but I got to go with the person who really turned me into a Genesis fan because I was late to the Genesis party, Steve Hackett, who I think is one of the great guitar players on the planet. And he is just doing some great live shows, showcasing the Genesis stuff and his own solo stuff. These albums are great. And the one I picked out was, instead of Genesis Seconds Out, I picked Genesis Revisited and Seconds Out and More. I just like the way Hackett does these songs more than the Genesis does them because he adds a bit more guitar. The odd time he throws like a saxophone solo in there. They're just a bit heavier, a bit rockier to me, and fantastic stuff. This has got every Genesis song you would like on this, and I am a huge fan. Like Firth of Fifth, I Know What I Like. The Music Box. What else is on here? Shadow of the Hierophant. Yeah, it's just great live stuff. Love this guy. Steve Hackett. Rates very highly. Number 2. This is one I just got a month ago, and it's our number 2. It could be the greatest live album ever made. It might move into number 1 because I cannot stop playing it. Blown Away, Late Fuse, Get Away, Widespread Panic. I freaking love this album. I'm telling you, give this a listen. If you like, you'll love it. It just rocks. The guitar playing is just fantastic. It is an incredible album. I don't know if this is available on vinyl or not. I might look and see. But incredible stuff. I absolutely love this. Number 2, soon to be number 1. And number 1 for me, I'm telling you, a band that puts out the greatest live albums, greatest packaging, lived for the stage, especially Jerry Garcia. He just lived to play. When the Dead weren't playing, Jerry was playing. He just played. The man had a guitar in his hand. If he didn't have if he wasn't smoking something or snorting something or hitting something, he had a guitar in his hand. I'll go with Europe 72. I could have picked a million different ones, but the band was just on fire on this tour. I don't think they ever played better, and the song selections are great. There's all kinds of different versions of this and different shows from all the different places they played, but this is just like the Europe 72 compilation of the tour, and just fantastic stuff. That's what I picked for number 1. So that's my ranking. Thanks, Pat, for inspiring me. I want to do a commercial before I go. like you don't get enough commercials on these stupid channels. I did a video the other night that I'm very proud of. I did a live chat with my friend Robert Lawson, and we discussed his new book, Solidarity Forever, The Art and Soul of Stevie Van Zandt. I just want to get everyone, please watch my live chat. I think I did a great job interviewing Robert. I giving myself a pat in the back. It was fun to do. About an hour and a half of really good conversation. And this book, if I thought it sucked, I wouldn't promote it. I just wouldn't sit. Mom said if you can't say anything nice at all, don't say anything at all. That's what I would have done. Not said anything. But I really, really love the book. It's so well written. It's all about the music. If you don't care about the drugs and the groupies and all that stuff, these kind of books are for you. Robert does a great job. It flows so nicely, and it's just packed full of information about a man's career, and which is just great. Anyway, and just what a cover, eh? It just pops. Love to have a poster of that. Anyway, Solidarity Forever, Robert Lawson. And Pat, thank you so much. Larry Graves did a thing. He was kind of talking about his favorite channels in 2024. Good video, and thank you for mentioning me, Larry. I appreciate it. And we will be back.